All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Yeah. Welcome in, everybody. It's Tuesday night. You know what that means. It must be Who's Next in NXT, presented by the We Book It podcast. Listen, guys, welcome into another episode. Hope you guys are all doing fabulous this Tuesday evening. 2 more days in the United States for anybody that has to work, and then everybody gets Friday off, and then of course Saturday is 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Well, with that being said, guys, I hope you guys are all excited for a fun weekend of wrestling, but more importantly, I hope you guys tuned in to NXT. And if you didn't, hey, that's okay, because that's why you're here watching this, so that you can see exactly what went down. Now, with that being said, let's get right to business. After a recap of the Great American Bash opened the show, Kendal Grey made her way out to celebrate becoming the new women's NXT champion on Sunday. She spoke about being more nervous to speak to the crowd than to wrestle in a title match. She also said she grew up not knowing how to handle losing. So every time it happened to her, it made her doubt herself in NXT. Ren Sinclair came out with a cake to help her celebrate. Kaylani Jordan showed up and said she deserves a shot at the title, but Tatum Paxley arrived from the crowd to attack her while Grey and Sinclair ate cake in the ring. We've discussed Grey's in-ring ability being above average at this stage in her career at many times, but one thing we never talk about is her character. She doesn't feel like a gimmick because she's not. This is who she is. She's an athlete who has had great success in other places before coming to WWE. This promo felt genuine in a way that few do in NXT. Everyone is trying to perfect a character, but this felt like Grey showing us her actual insecurities before showing us that she is overcoming them. This segment may not have been perfect, but the initial promo was good start to Grey's title reign. Like I said, this is just the beginning. I did not think that Kendal Grey was going to win the NXT championship or this past weekend, but kudos to her on doing so. She is your new NXT women's champion. And listen, the brand itself just keeps growing and getting stronger. And we'll talk about that towards the end of the show. But yeah, man, like I said, very, very strong opening. Next up, we got Vanity Project versus Dr. Wagner and Galeno. So, real brothers Galeno and Dr. Wagner made the trip from AAA to NXT to challenge Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes for the tag team titles. The champions were giving up a lot of size and experience to the challengers in this bout, so Wagner and Galeno looked pretty dominant early on. The champions made it more competitive during and after the break. This match had a brisk pace and some fun spots. It felt a little paint by the numbers with predictable swings and momentum, but that didn't hurt the match too much. All 4 guys worked hard to make this feel like a hard-fought contest. The Vanity Project did go ahead and defeat Galeno and Dr. Wagner in this match. Cool spot moment was Dr. Wagner clearing the top rope for a dive by as much distance as he did was an impressive feat and a display of agility, especially for a guy his size. We also had Zarya, Lizzie Rain, and Izzy Dame had a funny backstage segment before this match started. Next up, we go Jackson Drake versus Mason Rook. Vanity Project didn't have to leave the ring after their win because Drake was in singles action against Rook in the next matchup. Rook had a lot of advantages over Drake from a physical standpoint, so the former Evolve champion felt like a big underdog. He may have had the speed and agility advantage, but Rook wasn't too far behind in those areas either. The weirdest moment came when Booker T seemingly accepted a video call from Cam Hendricks in the middle of the match, which was somehow tied into the production truck and the broadcast on the screen. It felt incredibly random and completely stalled the match in its place. Rook and Drake did a good job regaining their momentum after the random delay. Drake has a lot of upside, but Rook has been even more impressive in his short time at NXT. He is the definition of don't judge a book by its cover. They turned the second half of this into a very competitive fight that had the crowd's attention. If both these guys continue on the paths they're on, they could be tremendous rivals for each other for a long time. Rook successfully fought off Baylor and Smokes, but the distraction gave Drake the chance to hit the backstabber for the win, with Micah Lockwood holding Rook's feet to prevent him from kicking out. So again, I like the fact that they played to the fact that the size difference was so large, but yet they still had to do it. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on? Hey, appreciate you so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for tuning in to Who's Next NXT. Yeah, so the crowd loved when Rook attacked Vanity Project after the match as well. The video call moment was weird. That was a weird moment. I don't understand why they did that. But I mean, hey, it's NXT, and I understand that they're trying to be cutting edge with some of the stuff that they do. This next match, speaking of cutting edge, was the match to watch. It was Keanu Carver versus EK Prosper. Last week, Prosper defeated Carver to earn the title shot he was supposed to have this week against Vikingo, but Carver attacking the champion forced the GM to put him in a match with Prosper instead. These are two very different kinds of wrestlers. Carver is a powerhouse bruiser, and Prosper is a high flyer. So they fell into the usual David and Goliath pattern that most big and small teams go into immediately. Yo, what's up? Appreciate you so much for tuning in to Who's Next NXT. Thank you. Carver is convincing with his aggression. A lot of people take years to come across as legitimately dangerous the way he already has. Prosper has already shown himself to be a great prospect with a lot of potential, and he did a great job selling the for Carver in this match to make him look as dominant as possible. This was better than their first encounter last week, especially for Carver. Unfortunately for him, Tank showed up and sent him into the barricade to get revenge for what Carver did to Hank at the Great American Bash. Prosper took advantage and hit a huge moonsault for the win. Both of these guys still have a lot to learn, but this was a serviceable match that made them both look strong in different ways. So, again, like I said, this was just another good match. In a series of good matches. I think all in all, this show proved that it has some really good matches on it. Speaking of matches, good matches, this next one, Jada Parker versus Carmen Petrovic. So the next match featured Miss Parker, and Petrovic, both looking to add a W to their win column after coming up short in their most recent outings. Petrovic was flanked by Natty and their new stable, so Parker was already at a disadvantage before the match even got underway. Both these women are great athletes with a lot of charisma, but it felt like there was a disconnect somewhere in this bout. It wasn't exactly a bad match, but it felt like they never found their groove together, which I put a lot of it on Jada Parker, man. Jada Parker is a seasoned veteran when it comes to the side of NXT now. She's been there, 2-3 years. And again, I mean, there comes a time we have to shit or get off the pot, man. And for Jada Parker, that time is coming sooner than we all want to be honest about. Like I said, it's either they're going to do something with her or not. In this match, she does pick up the victory over Petrovic. She scored the victory, and it's clear their feud with Natty is not over. So we might see Parker show up next week during the title match, which would be great. Natalya was granted a title match against Grey for next week during a backstage segment. So Natalya going up, I'm sorry, we can't call her Natalya. Natty Neidhart is going up against the brand new NXT Women's Champion next week in a match, and I assume that Jada Parker is going to play a part in that, probably costing her the championship. This week's main event was made after Jordan and Paxley got into a fight during Gray's championship celebration at the top of the show. This was set up as a personal feud, and they did a good job making it feel that way with how they worked with each other. Gray was sitting on commentary, and right as the show was about to go to break, she was attacked, which distracted Tatum long enough for Kaylani to regain control. Other than the strange timing of the attack, this was an enjoyable main event. It wasn't the best thing we saw all night, and they had a few moments that didn't work, but the competition made sure it wasn't forgettable. Jordan hit her signature split leg moonsault for the win. As Paxley was recovering in the ring, Nikki Blackheart attacked her to make her official debut, but WWE never used the name Nikki Blackheart, so we still don't know what she will be called yet. So again, like I said, great moment for NXT, and especially for Kendal Grey. Like I said, I'm sorry, for Kaylani Jordan. And again, like I said, we're just gonna continue to watch and see what happens. So this was the first episode after the Great American Bash. And guys, stay tuned. Like I said, the NXT women's roster is getting stronger than ever. I'm super excited to see what they have planned for them coming up. And I'm super excited to see what you guys think of all of this. Leave your comments below in the comments section. Let me know your thoughts on this episode of NXT. I would grade this show easily a B plus. Like I said, there still has some dry spots in there, but for the most part, I love Tony D'Angelo's promo where he came out and he fought. He said that nobody's going to take that belt from him. And he dared anybody to step up. Obviously, I do not think Naruku is finished with him yet, so we will see what happens with that. But again, like I said, NXT is thriving right now, and that's a good thing for everybody. Until next time, guys, my name is Virgil. I'm your host of Who's Next with NXT. Make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe, and keep it going. Peace.